How easy is it to beat Dark Souls 1 while only leveling up intelligence? Today we find out. Before we begin, there's a few rules we need to establish. Number 1. We are only allowed to level up intelligence. All other stats must remain where they start, no matter what. That will make our choice of starting class a bit more interesting. Number 2. Spells are allowed. However, we will try to use them sparingly. This rule actually came to be during the playthrough. You'll know when for sure. Number 3. No magic boosting equipment is allowed. This means no Crown of Dusk, Dragon Rings, or Dusk Ring. This rule was meant to prevent me from relying on magic to beat the game. Number 4. No extra attunement through rings. I can only use the attunement slots provided by my choice of character. Number 5. All bosses must fall by our hands. This not only means that this is an all bosses run, but also means no summons at all, no matter what. Final rule, no glitches or exploits. This is a vanilla run and will be until the end. That's pretty much it for the rules. Now for the run itself. After careful consideration, the choice was made that for this run, the best starting class is the Knight. This is for several reasons. First is that it's the class with the highest starting vitality. Second is it actually has one attunement slot due to its 10 attunement. We have the starting requirements to two-hand the claymore, and this will be important later. Although the sorcerer starts with 3 attunement slots already, it also starts with the lowest vitality, closely followed by the thief, so we skip both of those. As for our starting gift, we chose the master key as usual. Upon touching down, we simply rush the asylum. At this point, we have no particular restrictions, so the challenge has already started. As we are carried into Lordran, we have a few things to do. First of which is to pick up stuff all around for later. We also take the time to buy a Sorcerer's Catalyst from Rickard, although we didn't really need to, but it's fine. We also make sure to kill the Black Knight in the basin for a Blue Titanite chunk and the Grasscrest shield. We make sure to make it up to Andre and level up our weapon to +5 with the soul items we picked up and the shard from the Tower Knight inside the church. After activating the lift down, we make our way to the gargoyles to get our first boss down. At this point, the run is barely different from a normal playthrough, although we do have a better upgraded weapon than what we normally would have by this point. It's not that it's impossible for someone to have a +5 weapon at this point in the game in a normal playthrough, but I'm willing to believe a lot of people face the gargoyles before upgrading theirs to this point. Not that that changes much. The gargoyles die, and we get to ring our first bell of awakening. Get up, everyone! I woke up and I'm about to make it everybody's problem. With the gargoyles defeated, we dump all of our souls into levels, but we need to use them somehow or they'll just be getting wasted here. We give Lautrec the push he needed to follow his dreams and almost get a heart attack after loading back in. Whew! We make sure to buy the Resonance Key, you already know what for. Before that though, we need to get towers out of the way. By this point we already have a much stronger weapon than we're supposed to for this point in the game, which makes the fight a breeze. It also doesn't help him that we have an upgraded flask and 10 uses of it. With the Taurus Demon defeated, we head down the tower to have a nice little chat with Havel, who ends up giving us a ring because he just liked us so much. Hi Lemon, next run going that bad? Damn, I get it. We make our way to the butterfly, which, believe it or not, actually healed me once because of my idiocy. I want to make it clear that was all my fault. I'm not giving any credit to the butterfly. If anything, I'll give credit to the bush for that perfectly timed hit and stun. On the second attempt, I'm decided that something like that ain't happening again. So I ignore the shrubbery and even apply the thunder sap to my blade for extra spiciness. It still takes me 2 cycles to kill, but honestly, that was some really nice damage. And at this point, I am still debating myself on whether or not to allow magic at all for this run. We realize we forgot the basement key as well, so we backtrack to it. We also get the shortcut just in case and open the door to the lower Undead Burg. More doors! And also, have you noticed we always open doors with our left hand? Oh, and somehow, this idiot got himself locked in a house which likely locks from the inside. I know you're just a bitch. We still need your magic weapon sorcery though, so I'll be taking that. Please and thank you. Ah, right. I forgot the Firekeeper soul in the church. Don't mind me, just desecrating our corpse real quick. Sorry, golden boy. Have you seen prices lately? 20k for a round rock is not worth it. He insulted my mom or something. I swear. All that just to open this? Seriously didn't have to die, old man. We pick up the enchanted ember for later and head down to the swamp where we get the next Firekeeper soul we need. After upgrading our CPGs, we head to the Great Hollow and it's time to start some farming. First, we collect the 2 blue titan chunks in the area. I missed the other pickup, but you can't blame me. It was over an hour of farming for just these 2 drops. We take him back to Rickard, who makes our weapon first +5 magic, and then gets it to +2 enchanted in one fell swoop. That should greatly improve our damage. We also buy Great Soul Arrow to start using the magic I, at this point, decided it was okay to use. Let's test the damage of both things on Quelaag. I mean, I admit I knew you could stun her by hitting the ugly part of her body, but damn. Still, I messed it up and ended up paying the price. Second time, I managed to get her on a loop. She doesn't get a chance to escape. Not gonna lie, this makes me feel dirty. We will use it sparingly from here on out. I don't like this feeling. The second bell is rung, which means it's time to try and cheese ceaseless. Some of you have suggested ways to guarantee the jump, and I've been testing them on the challenge runs to see if they actually work. And to my surprise, did work this time around. Gives you 20k on our pocket. By now we have almost reached the soft cap of 40 intelligence. Not that it matters, because we can only level that anyway. Time to get to the funhouse, and this time around we don't need to backtrack for anything else. We only make a small detour to pick up the gold serpent ring, light the most well hidden bonfire in the game, kill the annoying bastard, and face off against the golem. Our damage is great with a +2 enchanted weapon for this stage in the game, but we still die stupidly once. Second time's the charm, as we pull Apaches on him, and for some weird reason, he decided we are trustworthy enough to sit on the ledge. Now we are officially over the soft cap. The rafters are well, the rafters. I dropped the candelabrum out of habit, despite the fact that we won't be needing the spell in there anymore. The archers pose no threat. Surely this thin piece of cloth protected me from a spear-like arrow coming for me. I managed to quit out in time. Unfortunately, there's no quitting out for being a dum-dum. All for 10k souls, man. Inside, we take the bonfire, the Havel's armor in the hidden basement, open the shortcut, and get to Sonic and Eggman. Needless to say, the first attempt didn't go quite as intended. As usual, it's just a matter of being careful, attacking when it's safe, and trying to get Piggy to walk into a pillar. Phase 2 is easier, since now it's only one of them you have to be aware of. After a while, we pull a victory and get rewarded with the ability to literally dissolve into thin air and reconstruct ourselves somewhere else. You look lonely? I'll fix that later. Don't worry. I'll warm you up real good, baby. Place the Lord Vessel immediately to avoid the headaches. We light the bonfire in the Duke's Archives for later, and there's a couple of things I want to do before tackling that area. First, I want to get Capra out of the way. Easy fight, not even close, for sure. Now on to the basin to kill the Hydra. I want to get this done now so I can get the broken pendant as soon as I'm back in the archives. Each head goes down with 2 hits, and the last one just takes 1 grey heavy soul arrow. The golem takes reduced magic damage, but her swing speed is pretty good, and it's not like its moves are hard to dodge. As for the other golem, it's exactly the same. I did clear the hollows around it before, just to make it easier on myself. With the broken pendant safely in our hands, it's time to get our chosen weapon for the run. We take a couple of voluntary hits from the Crystal Captain to lower our health and avoid the risk of curse from our mandatory death at the hands of Seath. We also equip our best curse resistant armor just to be extra safe. The prison section is easy, just turn off the music, pick up the key, open the shortcut, get another blue chunk, and farm another. With this we get our weapon to +3, but we don't intend on using this one for much more time anyway. Down at the cave we get another 3 chunks, so why not just upgrade to +4 anyway, right? Now, let's get ready for the sweet tail cut. We let Seath break the crystal on his own, so we can start running to the tail and... Oh no. With this damage we didn't manage to get the tail cut, so we head back to get the lightning spear in hopes that the damage will be enough that way. Okay, second try. Same strategy as before to maximize our time to get the tail cut. Spring to the tail and remember to hit just the tip. While it is better damage, it's still not enough. Let's try again with our enchanted broadsword just to check. Nope, still not nearly good enough. After a few tries, I decided that my best bet was probably to give black firebombs a try. Maybe if I chuck them right, I do get the tail cut, but they are quite expensive. While we do manage to hit it every now and then, we're just wasting our ammo at this point, and we're hitting him more often than the tail. That paired with the tail clipping into the walls makes me realize you aren't likely to get the tail cut. I tried getting a crystal sword, hoping the extra damage from its high base damage would be enough. But it proves to all have been in vain, as it also doesn't deal nearly enough damage for it, even after I applied gold pine resin to it. This point is when I realized I made a huge mistake by killing Andre. He is the only one who can upgrade a new weapon past +5 conveniently. While I could technically get a fire weapon from Vamos, that would be a huge time sink. Not only do I need an appropriate weapon, but I'd also need to farm green titanite again. Get the large flame ember, get the red chunks, and all that just for the chance that it might do enough damage. While thinking all of this, and even planning the route in my head, I kept chucking black firebombs, hoping it might work. But eventually, I realized it's not. Defeated, and with my spirit broken, I decided to just bite the bullet and resign myself to keep using my trusty broadsword. Had I known this was gonna happen, I would have considered using the claymore from the beginning instead. No use crying over spilled milk. Instead, we get the blue slab from the caves and upgrade our weapon to max enchantment. Let's just keep going for now. First is Nito. Thankfully the Tonys go down in one hit each, so that's good. We wait for Nito to slowly shuffle towards us a bit and then just start straight up laying pipe to him for a while. We take our CP breaks when we need them, but overall the fight is neither long nor hard. We first tried it without trouble. Next is the Danger Doggo, who manages to kill me not once, but twice, due to me absolutely sucking. On the third try, we kill him and claim the Covenant of Artorias for ourselves. I'm sorry, little boy. This time around, we don't actually need to head into the ghost house for once. Or we wouldn't have to if I didn't suck at aiming sorceries. Needless to say, I didn't pick up the binoculars or a bow. Well, damn it. Guess we're doing the ghost house after all. Quick chat, open the seal, turn the lever, you know the drill. After skipping everything to get to the Four Kings, we change into our tankiest armor, fat roll to check of course, and we drop into the abyss. We're dealing 215 per hit on fast hits, so we get past the DPS check without any problems. Barely 6 Estus sips used through the entire fight, which honestly surprised me considering our low health, but I suppose that's what a maxed out weapon will do. Now on to the bed of chaos. First we pay the fairest of them all a visit, and we get reminded we are playing Prepare to Die edition. That means only one consumable at a time, and only one offering at a time. This was an entire 5 minutes just doing this. I'm not even kidding, like literally 5 minutes. Before we face against the stupid bug, we need to get rid of Chunky Flaming Version and Mario. First is Chunky though. We don't have bleed this time around, but we don't really need it. Just a few hits and it goes down pretty easily. As for Mario here, we need to get him into the big platform where all his jumping poses less of a threat. From there, we treat him like Achilles and just stick to the ankles. He doesn't have that much health, and our damage is more than just nice, so take him out first try as well. We even managed to get the tail cut at the end. Not that it matters, though. The shortcut does absolutely matter, and we pick up the maggot for later as well. The bet is just the same as always. Pop the right ball, jump to reach the second ball, and pop that one too. Jump into the middle platform, and a light little stroll gets us to the bug. Hello? I told you I'd warm you up, and I'm here to fulfill that promise. Snake Pants took less than 2 minutes in its entirety, but unfortunately, we still don't have enough damage for a 1 or 2 cycle fight. So, 3 it is this time around. I don't need you anymore, but I do want my CP juice to be full heal.
How did you ever get this far?
Sorry, my child.
This is a threat.
Time for the DLC now. First up is Guardian, and I'm not gonna lie, it made me incredibly uncomfortable to fight him with so little health. Not only that, but our damage is pretty low. This was for sure not a first try. Or second, or third, or fourth, or fifth. You get the point. In total it took me 8 tries to kill this stupid boss. Next one is Artorias. After activating the lift, we head straight in. Well, I've seen worse damage for sure. Still, that doesn't save us from death. Surprisingly, Artorias took less tries than the Guardian. I suppose by now I was getting used to the low health, so I was fighting more confidently, and knew how much I could risk and when. I also know his stealth a lot better than the Guardian, so there's that. He goes down on the 5th attempt. We are now at 80 intelligence, by the way. The run through Oolacile is just as usual. Pick up the pendant and the crest key. Run past everything until the next bonfire. Oh, by the way, have you ever had this guy break all of the statues in this room? By kiting him around, you can make him break them all. nothing happens if you do, but you can do it. We run through the chasm, stopping where Alvina shows up to save Sif, because we might be monsters, but we're monsters with standards. Send the lift up and head against Manus. This one was by far the toughest battle in the entire playthrough for me. Not only does he deal a ton of damage, but we also aren't dealing almost any damage to him. I will spare you the details for now, but after the first 2 deaths, I realized I should probably leave him on for later, as I haven't finished the cleanup yet. We pretended to be an egg and get to work on Chunky. Ah, this is the damage I like seeing. Literally no hit this one, but that's not much of an achievement. Don't forget the doll, and we pick up a spell we will never use. The painted world goes as usual. Just run past everything, get gently kissed by the locals, I survived, I promise. You and I both know I don't want to do this, but I have to. Sometimes we just can't have it our own way, my fluffy queen. Oh, please don't say that. I know I'm a monster. And I must continue to be one. Sorry, love. I need all the help I can get. Back to Manus. We continue to try, and we continue to fail. Over and over again we get knocked down, and over again we get back up. But every time we do, a part of our humanity gets left behind. The sacrifices we've made, they mean nothing anymore. After 12 times, it's time for a change of scenery. I know what always cheers me up. We head into Kalameet's arena just to make sure we see him. What could this be? Certainly not a trap, I'm sure. Run, run, run! This allows us to have our nice friend here show us the best cutscene in the entire game. Oh yeah, that's what I needed, to see someone become a crip. I also took a fairly long detour that I won't show, just to get some armor to max level. This will maximize our defenses while still allowing us to fast roll. Back to Manus. Again. I can feel it. There's a fire lit under me. The better armor and boosting morale is keeping me up. We bob and weave, dodge and counter, hit and get hit, but we persist. We're knocked down, but this time we got so close. The taste is in our mouth now. Victory is so close. The skin tingles and the hand shakes with anticipation. We head down again and exchange blows again. A misjudgment makes us take some damage, but it doesn't bother us at all. We know what the problem is. We head down again, ready to give it all. It's now or never. We hit and get hit, we punch and get knocked down, just to get back up. We are not giving up now. He starts getting desperate, barrages of magic come our way, but now we face them head on, biding our time, striking when we can and backing off when we need to. The fight drags on. The seconds, they become minutes, and after roughly 10 minutes of patience, it is done. The Father of the Abyss bends the knee to a new monster that was born that day. Only 2 enemies left. We get down to Kalameet's arena, ready to fight. Nothing can knock us down. Fear, I might have spoken a bit too soon. Round 2, bastard. I'll get you this time. Ow, 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 ow. I said no. I said no. Worth it. Touched feet. I don't even have anything funny to say about this one. After a grueling fight and a lot of patience, we do manage to knock the lizard down a peg. Surprisingly, it only took me a whole 5 tries to kill this bastard, despite my damage being lower than with Manus. Final stretch. We're currently sitting at 84 intelligence, and we are ready for the last boss of the run. The husk of a god, the bastard who started it all, and is ready to defend it to the very end. We get our shield ready, and our senses primed. It's time to parry. And parry we do. For the first time ever since I started playing this game long ago, I managed to parry win without a single death to him. Almost flawlessly. No nerves, no anticipation. I've been numb to those feelings. It's just him, me, and the void that now resides inside me. With one final parry, we kill the Amber Lord who wanted to protect all in its own way. But it is time for change. No longer are we creatures of the light. No longer do we need its warmth. It's time we embrace the shadows as the monsters we have become.
My lord, bless thy safe return. Let Karth and Fraft serve your highness. We are here to serve your highness. Let true dark be cast upon the world. Our Lord hath returned.
That wraps up the run. With a final time of 10 hours and 1 minute, we have smothered the flame, proving that you can indeed finish Dark Souls 1 only leveling up intelligence. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you then.